Okay, so my name is Kyra. This is my Capstone 1, where I talk about the rise and fall of virality by analyzing Google search trends. So the objective and research questions. The objective was to analyze daily Google search trends in the US to understand how viral topics emerge, peak, and fade over time. Some of the guiding questions that I came up with when starting this analysis include: how long do topics typically stay hot? Which categories go viral the fastest and which sustain attention? Does rapid growth predict longevity? And what does a typical viral cycle look like? To do this analysis, I found a data set on Kaggle. So the source is from Kaggle. It's called Daily Google Search Trends Dataset. The time frame of this data is September 2025. There's 5,845 rows or trending queries. And some of the key features include query, start date, end date, active, search volume, increase percentage, and categories with their definitions listed there on the left. In order to use this data, I first had to do a bit of preparation and cleaning, which included converting the dates to datetime values, filling in the end date values for active trends, so ones that didn't have an end date, potentially because they're still ongoing. I filled those with the date that I did the analysis. And then I created two new features, one called trend duration, so that's end date subtract the start date, and then another one called days active, so the duration of days that this query was active for. So key metrics and descriptive stats, these are just some quick things that I found during the EDA process. For example, the total queries, as I mentioned, 5,845. Median duration was 0 days, which is quite interesting. Average duration was 1.15 days. The 90th percentile duration was 6 days, and the correlation between growth and duration was negligible. It's about 0.24, which is a very weak positive correlation. So some bit of interpretation from this. Most trends, they peak on the same day that they appear. Only about 10% last beyond 6 days. And rapid growth shows weak correlation with sustained attention, as I mentioned with that correlation value. All right, so visualizing virality. Let's first look at trend lifespans. So I made one plot that was the distribution of days active. This is the blue one here, purple blue one. So this shows most queries are short-lived. The median is actually 0 days. And there's a heavy skew. The second one here was a category analysis. It's quite small on the screen, but essentially what this shows is the average trend duration by category. And if you look at the green bars towards the bottom, those ones are law and government, business, and politics, which last the longest, which are around 7 to 10 days. Sports and entertainment dominate in frequency, but fade a lot faster. Next one I looked at was life cycle over time. So put together a time series, new trends per day. You can see from this first top chart here that search actively spikes around major cultural or news events. And there's little attention pulses, which reveal how collective focus shifts dramatically in short windows. Furthermore, I just pulled a little table showing the top viral queries. So for example, there's flash trends. So there's huge growth over a short duration, for example, regarding sports scores. But there's also some slow burn trends. So they have steady attention over time, for example, politics and major events. And you can also see the top 4 by search volume there, 2 of which are sports. So some key insights from this analysis. First of all, virality is fleeting. Most searches peak and disappear within 24 hours, so less than 1 day. The category matters. So political, financial topics sustain attention much longer. And growth does not equal longevity. So rapid growth doesn't guarantee staying power. I also found that trends follow a life cycle. They emerge suddenly, peak fast, and then they fade quickly. In terms of strategic implications, the timing content with attention cycles can greatly improve visibility and engagement. Some more implications and applications just for different segments. So like I said, marketers launch campaigns aligned with trend spikes that can help you hop on the trend of virality there. For creators, build follow-up content to extend the trend life because you know it's going to be short-lived. For analysts, you can monitor the attention half-lives to forecast virality. And then for platforms, understand how trends propagate to improve the discovery algorithms for your users. Some next steps or future work could include predict trend longevity using machine learning classification, incorporating external events. So for example, elections or sports finals to contextualize the spikes. So kind of overlay those two. and also explore cross-category interactions. For example, how entertainment trends affect political ones. And that is my capstone number 1. Thank you so much for listening.